I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey and this is episode 8 of Speedrun, a series of videos in which I make the journey from complete beginner to master with my new semi-secret second account on Board Game Arena. Last time we made it all the way to a rating of 482, which is very close to 500, so hopefully in this video we managed to cross the threshold of 500 and play some interesting games along the way. As usual, let's play in arena mode just so that we get paired up quicker. And we're paired up with a player with whom I've played before, but I think it was from my main account. I don't remember what their rating was, but we're not going to look it up. We are going to play a bit of Guess the Elo and try to guess their rating based on how they play. Exchanging natural moves. This is an interesting one. This is not good to connect like this, because this city will still have an option, like my opponent will still need 2 tiles to connect, so there will still be options to connect. So I need to do something else. I don't want to leave an empty city cap. And also there are some situations where I place a meeple here, and then my opponent takes the city cap and then builds around the city from the top, and then this square is blocked, and then they have, I don't know, like 5 or 7 points for this city, and I have 1 point for this city. So instead I'm going to play a different type of game. Of course, an option is to simply go here and meeple another city, but we're going to do this. Another option which you can do with a divider is something that I rarely do, but it's a legit move. To start, basically to be the first on the field. Drop some farmers. Yeah, good move. They're picking up the second city cap. We're going to pick up the third city cap. We're going to need to do something about those cities. So now the public, they can get a city meeple back, but that in turn obstructs their meeple. So far so good. And they drop a farmer already, so we need not worry about whether this farmer is premature or not, because, you know, either it's a small field for both of these farmers, or it's a big field for both of these farmers. We should always be taking 2 points here, also creating an attacking platform for this city. Starting a road, good move. I could connect to the road, I could start a ring, I could attack the city immediately. However, I want to be efficient. I'm going to start a ring, and then I'm going to create an attacking platform on my next move when I place a curve like this. Well, actually, maybe what I should have thought is I could have started a ring. Yeah, I could have started a ring on this move already. Although that way my ring road's a bit more secure. Fortunately, I get this tile, which is fantastic, and we get to drop another farmer. And basically, So based on this move, I would say that they have to be lower rated than 400, because they are giving me a chance to block their city in one move, which is what's going to happen. And so the way we're going to try to win the game is we're going to block the city, we're going to have a meeple advantage, and we're going to need to make sure that all the other features, that there's at least one feature on board which will be worth more than this blocked city. It could get like up to 10 points or so, especially if my opponent gets a quadruple city. But I'm going to try and build some fields. Actually, I might just as well drop a third farmer, or not yet. No, not yet. We can do it later. Yeah, I know that they're going to drop a farmer, but then we will have an opportunity to drop a farmer when we finish this. So we should always be meepling a monastery here. Next to our opponent's city, next to our opponent's road, so that we do get an extra point when our opponent continues a road. An alternative is we can try connecting to this road, because it's already worth 5 points. It contains a road, and this road is in fact pretty good. Yeah, our opponent just really likes getting blocked. But what do we do here? I think we adhere to the principle of 2 cities, and we just simply build another one. Even though, yeah, there are many city caps still out. Okay, it's a good move, that it's a good thing that we just got in a city cap. Ideally, we want to do something like this. Eventually, we're going to have to block this, but I'm not going to bother doing this with this tile because after I make this move, they're now literally 3 spots from where I can block. And I think, so now we have 3 options. Now we have to block. It's a low value tile we can block. Here I do not want to block because it obstructs my monastery a little bit. Here I don't want to block because it obstructs my road a little bit. And here I do want to block because not only does it block my opponent's meeple, but it also makes sure that he doesn't get, or she or they do not get these extra 2 points from these pieces that are lying around. So here comes the block, and we have the meeple advantage, long-term meeple advantage. Moreover, oh, okay. So this probably means that our opponent probably is a newer player who does not necessarily know what the tiles are, because they are not any tiles that exist here. It's possible that maybe they are just play a lot with expansions, and in certain expansions they do exist tiles that fit there. But not in the base game. So yeah, the long-term meeple advantage works out quite nicely. We could start a 4-point road, we could continue a monastery, but the thing that I prefer is probably just grabbing this field straight away. Being the first here. The reason why I didn't want to start a 4-point road, given that I'm ahead long-term, I don't want to necessarily create a flip for an evil hamster, also known as a monastery with a road that would fit here. Okay, so they are indeed very, very aggressive on the fields. This is fine, by the way, for them, because the field is actually relatively closed. I don't think I can meeple this now, although I would want to. I'd probably rather sacrifice the city cap and get some meeples back first, so I'm just going to finish this loop at first. So we see now they do get the monastery, but at least now they're going to take 7 points for it and not 9. Or 6. Yeah, of course, this other move was better, and now, most importantly, I don't need to worry about my monastery because either both of these are going to be blocked, or neither am I going to be blocked. It's because our monasteries are sharing this square. In fact, in some scenarios, I get this monastery, I block my opponent's monastery but preserve my own, although it's not going to happen very often. So here we don't have a good move. Obviously we're not going to break our own city, so we have to just dump this tile somewhere here, which is not ideal because this is also potentially adding points to our opponent, because they could connect to this bit, so we will probably need to spend another move with a tile like what our opponent got, or with a triangle with a road trying to block this as well. So our opponent is currently stuck with 8 points for 2 meeple, which is not a profitable investment. So they just dumped this tile here, and now it's an interesting situation. So this is a move, how I could get my opponent's meeple blocked. So there's only 2 tiles remaining that fit there. However, only 2, is that an appropriate word? Maybe I'd rather wait for a starting tile and make sure that there's 0 tiles remaining that fit there. So I'd rather build up my monastery starting from my own square, so I get 3 points for this move. Two points for roads. Now also difficult move. I don't think I can go here because the city will be quite vulnerable, and also it's a game where meeples will matter a lot. I don't want to go here either. I think I'd just rather block our shared, well, almost block our shared monasteries. Then I'm in no rush to get this meeple back. I'd rather take this city, equalize over here. Currently we're equal on the field, which is nice. Actually, they're now playing it pretty well, because now there aren't many field connection spots. And we want to be able to utilize that meeple advantage of ours. So luckily here, in this position, we do have a useful move. We can't meeple everything, because we're gonna need meeples for the end of the game. Actually, we might just get an advantage by simply getting a monastery and placing another meeple over here. And then we're gonna have 8 points for 1 trap meeple versus 8 points for 2 trap meeples. And we can always get this guy back. I really hope I double checked that my cursor is showing in the settings. Well, anyway, so now we're going to play this move, and this is to make sure that these 3 points never join my opponent's ruin. So in fact, now if the maximum what my opponent can get is 2 more points for that construction. Now we get a good tile. I could actually just place it here because we want to complete cities. We could also start a ruin of our own, but I wonder if it's not too early for stuff like this. Because we want to have a ruin, we want to have a monastery. This 7 points is quite nice though. It's going to have, there's still 4 shielded tiles in play that we could use. Okay, let me just try this time. Let me try be greedy. They're trying to block. I'm not sure if this move was correct, but I know what I'm going to do now. If this is extra greedy, actually. Or do we just take 3 points and not bother? I mean, this is so greedy. Maybe we don't need this. I think we just take the 3 points here. I know I'm being so I just want to make sure that like neither of our meeples get back, and I'm gonna be perfectly fine with this. And this move, man, remind me not to do it next time, because obviously here just these 4 points don't matter as much as the meeple. Not much that we can do though. Ooh, and very few tiles that fit here. So I think we'll need to do, again, an alternative is we can grab this, but it's too early, so there's a 3-point move that we can make, that we should always make. They will probably, oh, they're attacking the field, not yet. We might need to attack the field later just to sort of invest our meeple productively. This is a great tile. Yeah, I know it would have finished the monastery, but it's fine. Because the point is that at least now we got the tile that would have secured a potential field connection for our opponent, but now we just get 4 points and we're perfectly happy with these 4 points. Now we need to start looking for ways to get into the field, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 2 curves remaining. Or, given that we actually now 4 points and a meeple ahead. Well, 3 points and a meeple ahead. This is a lot. So if we just manage to somehow block the position, that would be quite nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The problem is the field is still worth 21 points. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to block this field connection. Yeah, we immediately got to get our meeple back, play conservatively. I know, unlike me, but like whatever it takes to win the game, okay? Okay, so we're at plus 11. Okay, so we're at plus 12, minus 8, plus 4, and then plus 3, so we're at plus 7. Yeah, I kind of want to meeple this, actually, which I think will work pretty well, but then there are a couple of field connections. I could also meeple a field here, just try to connect, but there's still 1 crossroads left, so it's not a good thing. We could just meeple a monastery here and simply try to build it up. Are there enough tiles? I said there are 2 curves, there's 1 of those, although we need it here anyway. We might just go for 8 points straight away, which is maybe not the best play. Oh, you know what? There are still 3 straight lines, so actually I can place a monastery here, and I still have a decent chance of getting my meeple back. My opponent gets a tile that they need there. I could block this field connection, but maybe I'd rather at some point just use a field connection myself. The ideal situation that you want to achieve, if we manage to get this meeple back. I know, so they're actually doing wisely. They're preparing to attack on their last move or so. And what we're trying to do, like how we can maximize our win probability, is either attacking a field ourselves at some point, or simply trying to get enough points so that we can win even if our opponent takes over the field, which is currently worth 21 points. And we're very close to finishing this monastery, which is very nice. And now we're getting 3 extra points over here. And there are also 2 triangles to prolong our city further. So this is a fantastic tile for us. So they get 1 more point. Now, I think what we should be doing, again, field connection opportunities, but since there's still 2 straight lines remaining, and in fact 3 tiles that fit here, we're going to pre-build a road like this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to even meeple the road upon completion. There are now 8 curves. This move with a farmer would have actually been nice, because there's still a curve with a Dorito, like this one. Yep, there's 1 left, and 1 could connect to a field like this. Now, I don't want to go here because it creates an unblockable field connection. Is it time that we meeple a second monastery because there's still 3 tiles how we can get a meeple back? Maybe. Let me see, we're up 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 19. Yeah, actually, if we do this, then if our opponent... Monastery. Yeah, okay, it's all good. So here was the idea. I still had 3 tiles to get a meeple back, and the point is that if our opponent somehow wins the field, then I still have enough points to win the game, sort of, kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so there's 21 points on the field. We're at plus 12, this equals this equals this, but we're at plus 20, plus 19, 20, 21, 20, like 25 or so. So that's the idea. Now we also get a meeple back. And we just got all the monasteries. They should probably try win the field, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also see that there's some crossroads remaining, which means that you can already anticipate my next move. My opponent has a bunch of field connections that they can make. So, for example, on the left, as I told you, because this single Dorito with a curve is still in the game. But yeah, they should really be trying to win. They just can't dump tiles. I could go here, sort of trying to hope for the remaining curve, but I'd rather 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hope for, oh wait, 7. Nah, maybe it's not that great. Although this road, why don't we just meeple a road, huh? Why don't we just meeple a road? Yeah, let's meeple a road. Let's just simply secure the win by points. And there's still 1 tile that fits me. I'm not going to go here, not to give my opponent the field connection and easy 4 points. I'd rather just go here and make my road slightly more vulnerable, because it's just not going to matter anymore. Well, what they should do, they should go here, drop a farmer, but I think they just simply relinquished the idea of trying to win this game or reduce the point difference. And we do get a couple of triangles to expand our ruin at the end. And at the end, this 1 meeple scored more than these 2 meeples. So I think it just was a matter of our opponent not knowing the tiles. So tips for any beginners there. I know that like tile counting can be tedious, but I think the easy thing that you can learn is at least what kind of tiles exist or not, because otherwise you really cannot plan your game properly. I think this game I also played all right. Kind of made important strategic decisions to be trying to build up a meeple advantage, playing more conservatively than normal, although the greedy move with this triangle was sort of dubious. Other than that, I think this strategy was alright. Let's see how many rating points we made. Oh, they were over 300, which is strange to me, because the way they trapped their own meeples, I know maybe it was a hallucination, maybe they're playing from a different time zone where it is very late. I am playing in broad daylight for a change, and it seems to be affecting my game in a positive way. And also an important part of the win strategy was to try and find ways to not attack the field, or maybe hope to block an opponent attack on the field, but simply amass enough points that would exceed whatever our opponents could make by winning this field. And before starting this monastery, I counted the number of road tiles. Remember I told you there were 2 curves, and there were 3 straight lines, and there was also this thingy over here. So this meant that I had actually a really high chance of getting my meeple back, and that's why I meepled this monastery. And this monastery, which trapped my meeple entirely, I meepled because this would already give me enough points to surpass the required 21 point threshold. Already we gained 6 rating points from that, so hopefully 2 more games to go. Let's just look at the stats real quick. I know some of you are interested. The thinking time, the talking time is a bit much. Maybe I'm gonna try relax a little bit more. No, not relax a little bit more. Just try to be more on point. As you see, 20 points for roads, so quite a lot. And meeples placed, that's what happens when you have a meeple advantage. It's like when there's a big field in play and you have your meeples trapped, it's very, very hard to play. Alrighty, but next game. We are playing against a player with a screen name Ida Maria from Finland. Well, let's say hello to them in Finnish, although I don't normally talk. Yeah, so we get fortunate with the city caps. We should start a new city here, always in the safest possible place, pointing outwards. You kind of want to be pointing your cities outwards as much as possible. Sometimes even, you see, they also know this, they also point the city outwards. Sometimes even it's worth doing so at the expense of adding a point to your opponent's road if there's really no space on the board. So for example, if I got a tile like this right now, I might actually literally add a point to my opponent's road just to have my city pointed outwards. Now here's an interesting situation. I think many intermediate level players would go here and try to fight for this road. However, this road is not that valuable because it is 3 points, but it is 3 points without a road end, so our opponent will need 2 road ends to complete this. And also the problem with this move is that it slightly secures the square, and so it makes this city more secure, because the sooner this square fills in with something, the sooner I'll be able to attack this little city with a straight line or, you know, anything that I can get. On the other hand, taking this 3-point road is absolutely the way, because I will need only 1 road end to finish this road. And in fact, this would make, as a result, my 3-point road more valuable than my opponent's 3-point road. And also, I'm securing this square a little bit, which could be later used as an attack against my city. The opponent is saying that it's my turn, but obviously they don't know that I'm like explaining stuff. Obviously I'm not going to say to them. Now this is interesting, so we could go here, and now we could actually try and snatch this road. Or we could go here and simply snatch this road like this. I think going here is better, like aggression is good, because then they will need to figure something out. But it's good that they're thinking. It's actually, they have a decision to make. But we have our move prepared pretty much no matter what. This over here, it's lovely, just adheres the principle of two cities, because we have two cities open. Even though this one's slightly vulnerable, it's okay. Now we're 2 curves away of snatching a glorious road. Yep, and they do this, and they meeple the monastery. Well done for them. I could have considered the idea of abandoning the road altogether, but it's just too much fun. I could have considered the idea of simply trying to start blocking the monastery. But now with this city, of course, we gotta break their city, because do you see city cap with a curve, city cap with a curve, city cap with a curve? 3 out of 6 of those are out, and this really changes the landscape. This means that blocking will be more important in this game than normal. And now after I make this move, there will be only 1 tile left that is left that would fit this hole. So now, of course, they could separate my road, but it's all right. It's still worth the try. They're playing well. They're also meeple a city cap. Well, I think now this is not ideal, so yeah, I'm gonna leave a city cap open, but I'm just gonna get out of harm's way. Take 3 points for a road. Can't complain about that. And unless my opponent has a tile to take this city cap, I'll be taking this city cap on my next move. And that's great. Good move. Yeah, they're actually playing well. They're building the curve here. And of course we have to take an empty city cap. Okay, so now we know that our opponent is rated probably below 500, even though their moves were really, really good before. Here they had to block our city, because then they would have an advantage. So they would have 1 blocked meeple for 8 points in this monastery versus my city meeple for 1 point. So it would be at +7 in this mini battle. Now we can finish this city, we can finish this city, we can finish this city. I'd rather finish, like, this is the safest city, but it could be not that safe because it can be attacked with tempo, and my opponent can get any city tile. For example, if they get this, then they add a point to themselves and instantly create an attacking platform. So I'd rather go play in a conservative manner and just simply save the city that has the most points. And look at that, I'm already at 17 versus 0. I did get a lot of city caps, which is nice. And now we're just going to make something devious. Yes, we could block this monastery, but there is something stronger. Let's just unify their cities. Just how we... Yeah, not this way, but this way, so that we can block from here, and then this will be extremely unlikely to be completed. It could end up a ruin that's worth fighting for, but it's not that likely at this stage. We will be aiming to, of course, block the square fully. Now it's blocked down to 50%, which in some scenarios is even enough, but ideally we want to get something like a road end, like this, so that we get to score 2 points with tempo. We actually just might as well claim a 2-point road, but rather I'd start attacking the square first so that they cannot separate their cities using a divider tile. They do get the tile that I really, really wanted, a T-shaped crossroads, which fits here perfectly to start a blocking attack with tempo. Well, it was not meant to be. They separate our roads, which I'm perfectly happy with. And now we can continue our city. I don't think it's worth starting a new city yet. If I started here with an intent to block, I could just end up having my meeple tied up into this ruin, being at 1 versus 2 minority. Going here is not ideal because there are scenarios in which this monastery gets freed up, but this city gets blocked. So we will be, the only tile that we're going to be putting here is another city cap. This leaves us this city. And this is relatively safe because 4 big tiles that could be used to break my city are already out. And again, we could do this, but I don't want to meeple this empty city cap, and I don't want to leave it empty either. So I'd rather just go here and start a new city. And also we have enough meeple at the moment, and we have a points lead. Like, actually, we don't care about this guy that much. So they're now going more aggressive. Instead of taking 2 points straight away, they go for a 4-point road and wanting to finish it later. I'd rather like it, actually. This also takes away, well, it doesn't take away, actually. I didn't have any 2-point options, because taking 2 points here is not something I want to do. I'd rather continue my city, but how? Maybe this is the way, actually. No. This is the way. Because if they attack my city, then I'm going to have a blocking square here. In fact, very often it's actually, with this type of tile, it could be a lucrative decision to forego the 2 points and try to add the 2 cities, simply because the 2 points to your city, because they can turn into 4 points given the shielded tile. So I might go now here straight away, slightly ignoring the principle of 2 cities, and I'm basing this decision on the fact that several city caps with a straight road have already been out, which means that there's a lower chance of my opponent connecting to the city. I don't see why this is a bad decision, but I'm also kind of impatient, because you see, like, ideally, of course, I want to start a new city and then I want to continue it with, like this. But now I'm forced to do something like this to make it a bit safer, so that my opponent can attack it only with a starting tile. But it's a bit problematic because it's kind of putting all eggs in one basket. By the way, our opponent drew the case tile that he needed, or that they needed. Probably she, maybe like Marie is part of a name. Again, I could put the city cap over here, and I would in other circumstances, but of course we need to finish this city first, because it's just worth more points, and it's still, in some scenarios, attackable. Our opponent is seriously threatening to complete this city. We might have to block it. However, this pattern here, try to remember it. So a city facing both city sides tied up with 2 field sides. This means that we're going to have a blocking attack no matter what. Well, if they put a city cap, we're going to put a straight road and this will be dead. If they put a city cap here, we're going to put a straight road and this will be dead. So they, in order to complete this risk-free, there will be need to waiting for triangle. So actually there is like not a huge rush trying to block the city. So probably the correct here play is just ignoring this altogether and starting another city, but I'm just gonna do this. I'm too greedy. I'm just gonna take a couple of points. So now here, yeah, they should continue their city like at some point. Maybe here to secure, but also here. Now, of course, I have to meeple a monastery, and the best spot to do so is here. By the way, check out this situation. It almost never happens to me. 33 tiles to play, and I have 7 meeples in hand. Come on, when else are you going to see that on this channel? The reason why I'm meepling this monastery here is that later I can use this square to attack the city with tempo. Well, good move. I might have even considered meepling this, but it's really good. They're wanting to pre-build a 5-point road and get a lot of points on their way back. Now the tempo thing. Ideally, I don't want a city tile. I want a road tile here, actually. Because obviously I'm not trying to get into their city. I'm trying to block it. Or, I mean, there are scenarios how they can bring me in and they can bring another one. Yeah, we're gonna still do this, actually. Simply because this is more restricted and this is unrestricted, so I'm likely to be the first one to get a city tile over here. And also good news for us, as I said, remember several moves ago, you just gotta recognize the pattern. Just like in chess, it's a lot of it is about pattern recognition. So of course I could take the 5 points, which I normally would, but in order to maximize my win probability, I want to decrease the chances of my opponent suddenly getting lucky and getting the case city cap in one of the triangles. There's still plenty of triangles, I think at least six exactly, plus a splitter. So I'm gonna go here and make sure that there are 0 tiles that fit in this hole. So our opponent will not be able to finish the city, and it will remain at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 12, 14 points. So 7 points for meeple, which is not a lot. We got to clean off an empty city cap. Our opponent gets a good tile for them. A divider. Ooh, this is tempting. So I wanted to take the road first, but I mean, this is just so super tempting because I get to eat up this piece. Yeah, let's just do this. And also, there's an extra dimension to this because this is actually a technique that you may have seen on my analysis streams of my gamer viewers. So it is, I forgot whether that was the first or the second stream. I think it was the second stream, yes. And the game was the play with screen name Osnofac versus someone you know. And there was also this pattern that your opponent drops a divider into the field, and then you use that divider and merge it into one city so that your opponent has fewer completed cities into their field. So that was part of my decision behind this move. Now, of course, we're not going to block because there's still a sufficient number of crossroads for my opponent to take back. We're just simply going to take 5 points, give our opponent a point for monster and a meeple back, simply in anticipation so that my opponent does not do that themselves. Mine. Beautiful tile. I won this. Now we have a choice. We could just continue our city here, but there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 3 triangles. It's good enough to try and complete this, so I'd rather simply restrict our meeples. I'm gonna go here, meeple this, and make it harder for my opponent to get a meeple back. They're meepling a monastery, they're doing everything right, but at this point, after I completed these cities, I don't think it's going to be enough for them. Normally, I would make a move like this, take 2 points and secure this ruin, well, this city, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way because there's only 1 triple city remaining. But this totally would be the move had there been more triple cities remaining. Instead, I can be greedy and actually just take 3 points. Or do I take 3 points and a meeple back? This depends on how many city caps there are remaining, and there are actually not so many. The only one that fits here, other than this one, is a starting tile. And there's 1 starting tile remaining. So we want to have 3 points and a meeple back. And we're not meepling this road because it is too short. No discrimination, it's just not enough points. Okay. We could actually connect to this field and at the same time slightly secure our thing over here, but we're not going to do that. I think we just should go for points. So here's an option to take 4 points, 3 for the monastery. We could also go like this, given that they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 curves, so a curve fits nicely over here. We could start meepling fields. However, once our opponent takes this field, we'll always be, well, not always, we'll be able to meeple this. I think that way is a bit more fun, which is a legit consideration I have for my move. They should be meepling this, I think. Now, I could go here to secure this, but there's still triangles, so we're going to be waiting for triangles, so I'm just going to continue the city here. They should probably be meepling another monastery, like they should be going really aggressive at the scoring. Good for them. And they even meeple this one. And they could still complete it actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, with 2 curves and I cannot block it. Or curves a straight line. So this meeple doesn't matter that much. Let's just simply take a field, I guess. Because we just have to take this field, well, a field eventually. Here they should be willing to invest their last meeple into this city cap. because I think there are still city caps remaining. Although there might be not a lot of those, which is why they do this, make this move without a meeple. Overall, actually, they're playing pretty well. They've built up their monasteries efficiently. They meepled the monastery, which looks scary. They're actually playing this really well. Probably the only issue was like trying too hard to complete the city, but maybe that was their win condition. I would say they're like playing at a 400 level for sure. So here, of course, 3 points are super tempting. I could also go here and take my meeple back, but I'm going to just take the 3 points. And there is a little reason for that. Yeah, it's precisely this, because my opponent needs a curve over here. Ooh, there's also a monastery. Wow, 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 wow. They should totally do this. Why am I rooting for them? Wait, I'm trying to win. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it's not, and there is no points in. Well, there is a point in blocking, but there's still one tile left that fits here. The idea was that they were needing a curve to complete this, but once I've gotten a curve, then I can use it here to score 3 points. So in fact, this combo gave me 6 points essentially, and also I'll be able to complete this road through a curve and another curve and then drop a farmer on my last move. But it's not like I'm gonna need a lot of meeples anyway. So Ida Maria draws one of the triangles. I think here makes a mistake. A much better move was not restricting this square, because actually now it's blockable. But I'm still going to take the 6 free points, of course, because 6 points are more valuable than the meeple. And they should have placed this over here, sort of pre-building a road and trying to finish this monastery meeple instead. Yeah, I have a surplus of meeples. I don't know what to do. I could go here actually, but these fields could get connected. So I'm not going to do that. How many road ends are there remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not 7. I'm not calculating tiles particularly accurately, but I hope you can forgive me for that. I'm just being like exceptionally greedy. And also their reason, because there are road ends and there was still this triangle, and now there's this triangle, which they actually wisely didn't block, because there's still another triangle. Although they could have, I don't know. If I were them, yeah, that was probably a mistake. So I would say maybe they're like 350 rated. Instead, of course, they need to add 1 more point to the monastery. And had they listened to me, they would have already had their monastery finished, and maybe made the game much, much closer. They do have a lot of monasteries, like they will matter in the end. And you see also they blocked themselves here a little bit, because they had to hope for this tile as well. And now we can do the move that I wanted, to go here and to drop another farmer, because I don't think our opponent will be able to connect us together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, oh no, actually they're still curved. But the idea is that if they do get a curve, they're probably going to just finish their own stuff. Obviously I miscounted everything, just don't mind me. But they have to be more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's the 9th one? I don't see it. I just, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there they are. So everything looks very similar in this layout, and I just hope I can manage to get used to it. So we managed to even connect to our opponent's field at the ends and probably win with quite a big point difference. They made a good effort in some parts of the game, probably in the, and they could have made it a little bit closer. So I think the main part that we managed to do well is to realize that there was no particular rush with blocking the city, because of that pattern of 2 city squares against 2 field squares, which is actually an exceptionally vulnerable configuration, especially in a game where many city caps with a curve were already out early in the game, which usually completely changes how the game is played later on. All right, so we win with plus 40. Oh, they were only 100 rated, so a beginner. They actually played much better than 100. I would say like at a 300 level or so, 350. So yeah, so we're gonna say thanks for the game. But we are only going to gain 2 rating points. So let's keep playing. Let's hope we get paired up with somebody higher rated. Unknown identity 2000. That's interesting. So obviously it has to be an unknown identity. They do not have a lot of arena points, which probably means that they might have been not such a high rated player, but the screen name suggests that it could be a second account, which would be great, which would mean that, you know, maybe it's another channel doing a speed run. It would be a clash of 2 speed runs. Interesting situation. Do you go here to control your opponent's road? Yeah, I always respond in kind, by the way, whatever they say. Unless it's an insult, in which I just ignore and report. Or control the city cap. In this case, I think it's better to control the city cap because we're also controlling a road end, which will give us 3 points instead of 2. So we're going to go here. And there's a pattern how they often get this tile, so we sort of push them a little bit further, preventing them from getting the city cap. And the move for them is, of course, to place it on the left and meeple the triangle facing outwards. A lot of opening play is about pattern recognition, so it either needs some experience or some imagination. You see, I was mentioning all this stuff before, like controlling the road end, and now we got a perfect tile. Well, the second best tile, T-shaped crosser, would be slightly better. Yeah, that's nice 4-point road from them, because now as a result we're controlling another piece of roads, and here we can kind of gain extra points with that. The only problem is that this piece of road is not ideal for us, because this means that our opponent can get 2 points over here, creating a blocking square for our monastery with tempo. Here, obvious move, clean off the city cap, take 2 points for the city, connect to our opponent's city, you know, build up your monastery. No, name a reason not to do this. Here, they should always be meepling a monastery. Most of the time here, because they get a 5 points and they can prolong their own road and add more stuff. Also, by placing a monastery here at the bottom, they will be making their road here more secure, because I will not be able to block this road from below, because I will not be wanting to add red any points. So the play is to meeple this monastery over here. There's also like a creative play that they could do that sometimes works for some players. They could just meeple this monastery over here up top, sort of equalizing our monastery with the idea that now we won't be able to build here anything, because these will be just 0-point moves, and we do not want to be investing 0-point moves. But they could like go here and then build from above, maybe block this square. This is not a bad move necessarily. Yeah, you could do that actually, but maybe it's a bit too creative, especially if you're like under 600, let's say. Like, especially if you're just starting out at the start of the game, you most of the time want to pick up quite literally the nicest looking spot. Like this 5 points, it's just designed to host a monastery. Yep, good for them. Now we're just going to go here. It's a question always whether to meeple the road or not. I'm inclined to do so. And they get fantastic tiles. What are we going to do? 2 main moves here to consider. Either we go here and meeple the city cap. I think slightly better is to go here and sort of start fighting for a bigger city. Yeah, and they do this just to clean off our city cap, which I think is quite reasonable. Although I'm quite happy to see this move, because they took 4 points themselves, but they gave 2 points to us. And also that's one of the reasons why I meeple the road like this. Now we can prolong it and start a city cap and secure the square a little bit and start some attacks. Now, a tile that I really want here is like a triple city, or this one. Ay. I was about to place this tile over here to show you some Ukrainian technique, trying to combat these monasteries, but now we'll just have to live with a position with a disadvantage. Like, there's just no way how we can get close enough to those monasteries. So also now, I could go here. This is not a bad move, but I can always do this later. There's still plenty of tiles remaining to fit here. This square is relatively safe. I'd rather clean off a city cap and also make this square more vulnerable, try to attack it. There's still a sufficient number of curves, but if we can somehow manage to block two of these guys. So now there's very little incentive for me to connect here. I will be trying to do so with the least valuable tile possible, and certainly not with a tile with a shield. So if anything, I'm just going to continue the city, which is super safe because they cannot attack my city, because if they attack my city, they make their monasteries vulnerable, in which case I'm happy to trade points for my city for the opportunity to block their monastery. Oh, that's great. So they make their first mistake of the game. They actually help me out quite a lot. So you might, like, basically, you want to use a divider tile only to end your city, or like to separate your opponent's city meeple from an extremely large ruin, because they now gave me 2 meeples back, they gave me points, and you see how big this ruin is. Like, there will be squares in the future how we can connect to it. Okay, so this actually gives me a chance in this game to equalize these monasteries. And here comes our next dilemma. So the greediest move would be not to finish this city, not to finish this road, not to finish this, but go here and like drop a farm or start a new city. However, just my intuition tells me that maybe conservative is better, and there's some scenarios where I still get one of my cities taken away. So I better sacrifice the valuable tile and go here to simply secure my points. Okay. So now we have a fantastic tile. Now what could we do with it? We could go here. We could go here for show. With a meeple or without. Although I still want to postpone that decision because I still have one divider. In some scenarios I could just simply separate this guy, block these 2 guys. Of course the move that I think we should be playing is here, but with a meeple or without. So the meeple will be for insurance. Obviously we're trying to block 3 meeples, but there are some scenarios how they save their monasteries and pick up the city. But I think what I'm gonna do is, because it's a good field here for 9 points, it's a good tile to drop a farmer. And then possibly they will be able to save some, but not all, of their monasteries. So we're still threatening this square quite a bit. Now I think we should get a meeple back and secure this city a little bit more. We're not getting it. Oh, they're trying to attack the field, which is, I think, quite nice. I could re-attack it immediately, but there will be more spots, so I'd rather take care of the monasteries. Let me block this square, and then in the event my opponent gets a curve, at least this guy's going to be blocked, because there's only this one starting tile remaining. So I think it's a high-value move here. Exactly, so they do get the thing. And now the question is, do we go here with the meeple or without? I don't think I ever... I'm not going to try block this, because what I'm going to try to do, take a curve and like block this monastery from both sides so that they need the same tile everywhere. Feel that this is the move. And I think I am going to invest a meeple into it just because I do have the meeple advantage. I think I'll be able to utilize it. They have a blocked monastery. It's okay to have all of this blocked together, I think, although they're probably going to have a few more points in the mini battle. However, what I'm going to try and do on my next move, maybe have some kind of other big city tile, maybe a quadruple city if I'm lucky enough, so that I can build outwards and try to put pressure on these 2 squares, especially the one square that's next to the monasteries. Now, percentage-wise, of course, they have a very good chance of finishing this. But then at least I will be very close to claiming these things back. Oh, it's a good move. I mean, I kind of want to block this, but I want points more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have to take this road. We have to take this road. It's a juicy, juicy road. So, okay, we could block here. We could get our meeple back, but I think given that there's still a sufficient number of curves, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think we do this first. We secure the block of the monastery so that we don't have to worry about it. And then we're going to get a meeple back from the road. Another interesting move, so we could connect here, putting further pressure on this square, which is not a bad idea at all. But then it also creates a big ruin, and then I don't know who wins it. Or maybe it's just better to go here, simply put pressure on this city and try to build up here, shield the tile. I think this is marginally better. And also there are still some big city tiles remaining. Now this road is different. This one I don't want to do because it's too vulnerable, like this square is blockable. So let me start a blocking attack on this square now. That's perfect. Now they've spent their last meeple, which means that blocking will become more valuable. Also, I see a field connection here through monastery. Actually, we might as well drop a farmer like almost right now. But yeah, because ideally I actually want to block this with something like a city tile. But I'm still going to go here first. I mean, a block is a block is a block. Of course, they get their thing back, which is fine. Now, we can get 3 points. Or if we're greedy, or we can get this meeple back. I think getting 3 points here is slightly better. Predicament, isn't it? So what do we do? We might do here, like drop a farmer. I'm gonna need to think about it for a minute. Okay, turns out I was thinking for too long. So I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, maybe a bit prematurely, but basically the idea is that I don't want to create a situation. Okay, good, they're just building their own stuff, and I want to block them. Yeah, this you see, I was just ran out of time. I sort of started thinking about something else. But then the ideal situation, of course, is that we turn this triangle downwards. So there are now multiple places to attack this field, which I think is really the main thing in this game. I'm not sure the ruin matters that much. I'm gonna leave it alone for a while. I think this is the move. We win the coin flip for this, so this is now permanently blocked. They connect here, but it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's still 2 tiles remaining that fit there. We should start attacking the field maybe, but not yet. Not with this tile. I don't want to leave an empty city cap though. Oh, actually we're also a bit behind maybe. Maybe we should start attacking the field. Oh, we should also get the meeple back for the road. Well, all in succession. That's not a very good move. They should probably be waiting for a triangle. But I don't want to spend my last meeple on re-attacking this. So I'd rather just go here. And they should be now breaking my city, but they don't, which is great. I could do this, but I think there's only one triangle left, so that's why I'm not going to do it. I'm only going to get a city back here. And then maybe I'm going to get a meeple back from my road, and maybe then I'm going to start attacking my field. They can just keep building their ruin, which is a problem, and they keep getting all those triple city tiles. However, after this move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, that's the last one. So they might just go ahead and build it, and there's nothing that we'll be able to do. However, the way I win this game is simply winning the field, I think. Yeah, let's do this first. I don't know how about my sequencing. Let's do this first, I guess. Yeah, they just get everybody a meeple back, and now I'm just gonna be dropping farmers left and right. So good news, I'm at plus 16, plus 19, plus 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm at minus 2, but I'm plus 2 meeples. This should basically be easily winnable unless I do anything stupid. And now I just drop some farmers so that my opponent doesn't drop too many farmers. There's still 2 monasteries over here. This farm already scores 3 points. Now my opponent drops a farmer, which I think is good for them, because there's still things that are working for them. This is sort of the last case scenario. What I would do, I would just expand my farm a little bit. And what do we do with this tile? I have no idea. I have no idea, man. No idea. No farmer. A couple of city caps. Maybe just start a new city? I don't know. But I like, does a new city impact my win probability much? That's a problem. Maybe like farmer here somewhere ridiculous. No, don't be ridiculous. Maybe this. I don't. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe that. Start a road. No, it's all weak. All weak. All right. Maybe I found this move. That sort of has an idea there. That was exactly the idea, that I sort of kind of connect to their potential farmer. But now that I've got the crossroads, now we're talking something different. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which side do we block? Obviously, I think we block this one, because it's with extra value, and if they connect here, then I can always reconnect from above. Yeah. And then we can always block here in the next move. They partially blocked me, not fully. Oh, fully, because they drew the monastery. And wait, is this a complete block though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where is that 6th city cap with a curve? I don't see it. Which is why we can't make this move now. However, there will be something else. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I think my opponent still has an out to connect if I block this. But because they're now crossroads, so this is the move actually. Just to drop a farmer as a counter threat, sort of. And then we should connect, because thus we're gaining 3 more points. And also pre-building a road. Now look at that. Road. Or alternatively, we're threatening to connect this other guy. Maybe we could have done it a bit less awkwardly, but the road should do it for us. And there's also one more monastery left. So that's kind of the power of having meeples. By the way, the idea was, because there were so many city caps, to like have a potential 6-point field over here, but it's not going to work out for 6 points, unfortunately, just for... Ooh, does this work? Oh yeah, just as an icing on the cake, we get to snatch the entire field. Because there's a monastery that goes here, there's a straight line that goes here. I forgot what was the third tile. Is that a curve? Oh, no, that was the thing that I was talking about. Which means that we're just going to get a couple of points here. Yeah, so I think this is the move, actually. Well, at least we were okay with tile counting. We knew that there was a monastery, they knew there was this thing remaining. And finally there was going to be... what? I hope it's a straight line. So yeah, so we had a 66% chance to connect, and a 33% chance to expand our field and add 3 points. Alrighty, tile tracking for the way. And you know actually why I remembered about the monastery? Because I was thinking about the field connection over here. And you know why I remembered about the straight line? Because I was earlier thinking about the connection over here. And you know why I remembered about this tile? Because I was earlier thinking about blocking over here. So that's how tile tracking works in practice. Okay, I'm happy about this one. Yeah, GG. I like to use the clickable versions of GG. And the final difference is 16 points. Could have been more. So they're rated at 284. And even though this episode is getting long, we've already played 3 games. I think it would be nice to get to an even 500. Alrighty, shall we continue? I mean, you know me, obviously yes. But do let me know actually in the comments, like, do you prefer longer videos with more games, or like shorter, more frequent video with 1 video per game? So I'm most open to all kinds of feedback. We are playing against a player with a screen name Bulat L, whom I'm not familiar. But because I'm not familiar with them, I have a suspicion that they might be lower rated, which would mean that we might like not get to 500 even after this game, even when we win. But I hope all is well. But of course, we're still going to treat this game seriously. We don't know this player. They could be secretly a master. So we just still try to play the best moves possible. Do they know the channel? I came across my viewers a couple of times, including my only loss so far in the series, but I'm not sure if they knew at the time that I was recording. Oh, whoa. That's a bad move. What am I doing? Yeah, you always build the city downwards. Yeah, you see, that's what happens when you get distracted by chat. That was part of their tactic. So they do get a slightly better monastery spot. It's a small difference. Well, at least now we get this road. This is very nice. 5-point road. I mean, they do have the advantage because the city cap and because of the monastery. Now because they should start blocking me. Very often intermediate players are afraid of mini battles or afraid of a situation where they block themselves. But it's okay to block yourself when you also block your opponent, and when your opponent is doing worse than you. It's absolutely okay. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good place to start a city. So we could start a block like this. We could go here as well, but then I don't like the fact that I'm playing like this city cap in a weird way. We could also go here as well. Creates double pressure points. Actually, maybe that's the move. There will be always plenty of curves to connect here. But that was also the problem. They're now able to take away this from me. And they always should do so. To this. Maybe we can finish this road later. I'd rather do something like this, actually. I've really reconsidered recently about these tiles, the shielded tiles with the road. I've started using them more often as city tiles than as road tiles, just because of the sheer potential of this doubling, especially at the start of the game. And because of this road piece, yeah, that's a good move. Unfortunately, it's a good move. Ooh. Well, what are we gonna do? Start monastery here. Then they get 2 points and attack me. Here, then they attack both meeples at the same time. Yeah, I think here is slightly better. Because there are 2 monastery spots nearby, and we can still hope for good things to happen because of that. Now we'll be able to finish our roads. Okay, so now we know that they're rated below 500. No, below 600 at least for sure. because this is the most inefficient move. They should be starting a new city. They're just wasting a tile to create a potential attacking platform for the road. Not enough equity. We should be finishing the road and starting a new city. This guy we can continue with triangles. Okay, now they start a new city, which is good. Now, of course, we have meeples. We don't have to... Actually, we could do this. Yeah, I think this is really good, because we really finish this as a high frequency. And if they get a road plus city tile, they put it here. Yeah, I think this is the play now, actually. So, yeah, so what are you going to do? Are you going to attack me, or are you going to actually finish one of yours? Because if you're going to attack me, I'm happy, because I'm going to block you. Yeah, that's exactly the idea. And now I can attack here, and now they need the same tile that I needed just here. So that's the reason I made this move. Of course, it's not good for me that I'm losing the city, but at least we got something out of the situation. So they should be continuing their own city. Which they do, which means that they're a pretty good player. I don't like that. We could go here, create sort of a threat to block. Actually, that's rather nice. I could take this 5-point road as well, but it's open-ended. I think this is priority, and it's okay to break a monastery spot because we have another one over here. And now they finish this. And now maybe we go here, or do we bother about the city cap too much? Do we even, I think we go here without meepling the road. Am I playing too conservatively? Possibly. But I think this is the play. And then we're setting up to use a triangle with the road to meeple the city cap, and then a curve to do this. That's also a good move. I do not like that. We could go here and actually threaten all this construction. Because here is a waste of a move. Yeah, here I'm losing equity from a divider, but I could get a divider anyway. Why don't we do this and threaten and block? I think it's an okay move. Now they're sort of forced to defend. They can't take 2 points, or at least they shouldn't, I think. They go here, which is actually a good move as well. Because they're threatening to block me, which I can live with. I could go here, take 2 points, or start a road. Actually, I'm going to start a road and create a blocking attack. Yeah. I like this. They're attacking this. I could block here. I could block here. I could save here. This is better, because it also sets me up for the future to take this back, and these all to take this meeple back and meeple this city. But these squares, they're all vulnerable. Not sure about this meeple though, but I think it's alright, because there's still plenty of curves and I can get a lot of points for that road. Overdue, if you ask me. What they should do is a good question. I don't know. Start a new city. Oh, that's actually not a bad move, but of course it's going to result into a block. And now we don't need to bother about this side. We would still need to save this ruin, because it will be worth enough points. But at least now we have 2 of their meeple blocked. This guy is also potentially blocked, but there's still a 70%, 75% chance of getting it back, so we might as well. And here, now we're going to meeple this new thing, and it could grow. It could still grow, even though there's not a good number of big tiles, but we still should meeple this stuff. Okay, that's actually really good, because they're starting to block themselves. They're now also blocking me, which is good for them. 4 tiles remaining that fit here. So what we could do here to pre-build a road, which is nice. Or we could go here to pre-build another road here. Blocking we can do with straight lines. We don't have to do this. I'd rather pre-build the road and wait for a triangle. Like, if I had more meeples, what I do, in fact, I would even meeple this road, and then when I have a triangle like this, I would... But now I'll be forced to just meeple the 5-point road, leave the empty triangle. Now we're going to pre-build this road, so that when and if we get a crossroads, like that one, we get 4 more points. What am I doing? They were starting a blocking attack. Why did I not defend? What? Okay, yeah, 3 games a session is fine. Oh, This could really cost me. I know, like, some of you were wondering, what is he doing? That's what. Okay, that's good. Connecting to a city, it's fine. It's not a lucrative city. We have to continue this one, I guess. Nothing much that we could do. Then they get the block, of course. I mean, oof. Yeah, that hallucination is costly. Luckily, we get to go here, and then we have threats of reconnecting, or we can just finish our city going back. And then they could go here, which I guess is all right. But we should soon start blocking this square because there's a lot of points. They're ahead on the points as well. I also need to protect this square, but that was such a massive blunder. Change of plans. We gotta protect this as well to have 75%er. At least now I didn't blunder. Okay, they do attack here, which is good for them. Now, is this one of those rare cases we actually do use a divider? I don't think so, because this square is vulnerable. I'd love to, though. Here, I don't want to do that, because it's still a ruin, and they're going to get a clean meeple back. I guess we just do it here and claim the points. Yeah, 8 versus 4, but it's not nothing. That's a really good move. Starting new city exactly there. Although I'll be first on the field because of that. And now we're going to do here to protect this square. Yeah, so that we finally get a tile like this. And now they can, like, block it to a 50-50. Yeah, I should... Okay. Oof. Oof. Do we do it? Do we do it? 75%er. Oh, yes, of course we do. We have 2 meeples. I thought it was a last meeple. Oh, with 2 meeples, it's a no-brainer. Because, like, it's such a huge option to win. Because then we immediately farm and also block this guy. No. It's not even a question. Two tiles remaining at this stage of the game. Always. Especially because we still have other spots in the map where you can get the meeples back. And with this move, we're also restricting the city. And the move is just so high impact. And they can't drop a farmer now because they need to get a meeple back first. If only not that blunder, I would have been doing great. Interesting move, sort of securing that square a little bit. No, that's all right. Finally, that's the move. 13 points. You see, a pre-building matters a lot. And this move also paid off because we're not leaving an empty city cap. How do you like it? Okay. Now, of course, we could connect here. Or we could do even something more savage. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are still those remaining. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm thinking of just dropping a farmer here. Although there are a lot of city tiles, though. That way we just simply equalize everything. And then let's say if we lose the mini battle. Well, if we do lose the mini battles, then it's tough luck actually. We would need one of those 2 tiles. That was so lucrative. But wait, I will be with 1 meeple for a while. Do I need a meeple for something else though? And also, like, ideally I'll be dropping. So the thing is, like, if I get this tile, I win no matter what. So I should be thinking how I win without this. Yeah, I think it's an alright move. They do get one of the tiles that I need. And that way, if I get the city... Yeah, they do get the connection. That's fine. We do get 8 points and a meeple back. And we do get nice quick points, unless my opponent has the case. Oh, they do not. They do get their meeple back here, but we have a 9-point field with a city cap in it. We're first on the field. That's awesome for us. So see, the point was, yeah, even if we don't get this, it was just to create more high-impact tiles, just increase your win probability. Here, we're getting 5 clean points for a road and creating 1 more. space to re-attack in case we are in dire need. Nice that we managed to anticipate that and get ahead by 1 move. Okay, so now equal in meeples, plus 15 on the scoreboard. They have a neat investment of plus 7 in this for a meeple, which is actually not that much. Also plus 6. So we're at plus 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So minus 2 and the field. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, don't look at that. That was such a nice looking road. But there are no curves remaining. And there's only 1 crossroads remaining. However, there's still city caps with the roads. You know, I'm just trying to talk myself into it, right? I mean, you do it or they do it, right? Right? 2 city caps with the road, 1 those, 1 crossroads, 4 tiles to finish, right? Right? Yeah, you just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. There we go. It's a question of where we should use this. Maybe we just take 4 points or something. Meeple the field or something. I don't know. So I think if they attack my road, I just take my meeple back because I'm gonna need it for a field fight. Yeah, I think I actually do this regardless. Because I think this can wait. And then if they take 4 points, I can always just use it to a field fight. I'm gonna need the meeples. Just having these 6 points here is huge. They could of course start a new city. Or they could just simply secure this piece, but I think these 6 points were huge. I could already go and attack the field immediately. But you know what, wait. Maybe this is just our win. Again, think win percentages, not points. Plus 22. That's also my problem. I do recounts too often. But I do remember that they have like plus 6 in this area. So it's only plus 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have plus 3. If I do this, I'm at plus 7. And they can only gain 9 points basically. Yeah, I think that does it also as well. Yeah, they also get 4 points, and I think now maybe I drop a farmer, like it's not the worst idea of them all, just like for some security. Because they cannot reconnect. If we do this, there's just no other connection spots. We still have this 50-50 for a blowout win. Are there city caps? I don't think so, actually. Wait, both dividers are out. All the 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 are out. These are out. There's just 1 crossroads, right? 1 city cap with a crossroads. But it shouldn't matter that much. We're just using this as a field tile, basically. Oh. There is a monastery. Yeah, that's basically what we're hoping for. Or like a triangle. They get the second thing, but you see, I have the insurance, right? So it's all good. High impact tiles, win probabilities, not points. We lose the 75%er, but we use our second meeple to secure the field. Yeah, that's all fine, but okay, I can't connect, but they cannot connect either. In order to win the game, they need to win the field with 2 meeples. And now this move is plus 7, and that's the win. Now it's blocked, but it's too late. So the remaining tiles are, well, actually, it's quite simple. It's triangle, triangle, and triangle with the road. So which means that blocking here is useless because, you know, either we get it or not. So we just need to maximize our points, and I think this would simply mean, oh, there's like a 6-point field out of nowhere. You know, I just somehow forgot about that. Yeah, well, let's take it. Let's take it. How should we take it? It does not matter, I think, because there are no connection spots. So yeah, they can do whatever they please. Never mind, sorry about my tile counting. Of course there was the crossroads, I was thinking about it. But maybe I just didn't notice all the triangles. Where's the other triangle? Where's the other triangle? 1, 2, 3, where's the 4? I'm thinking of simple triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there we are. That one, the blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed this one. But yeah, but still I should of course have remembered about the curve. Okay, so they do have a triangle in hand, which means that they will be able to take 3 points no matter what, either here, either here. So blocking is pointless. Yeah, we just might as well. So they were actually pretty good. I would say they were like really close to 500 level. Yeah, actually I don't think they like... Yeah, they actually played pretty well. But I think we managed to find really good moves, especially with this field meeple, realizing that being first is important, realizing that we need to seek other win conditions than winning this 75%. We also pre-built a lot of features. Interesting what they mean. They said they played too aggressive. Oh, 267. They played very well for 267. They played like at a level close to 500, basically. Yeah, so this is true. They were blocked a little bit. Oh, they say they have 500 elo on other account. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you. So I hope you learned something from this. Unfortunately, we did not make it to 500 because, I mean, you can only do so much with 4 wins. I'm still gonna put this into the thumbnail of the video. Okay, it's close enough, okay? And then, of course, next time we're going to cross the actual threshold and hopefully learn something more. Please meeple the like button and do subscribe. That does help out a lot with the algorithm. And, you know, I do put out this kind of stuff fairly regularly now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you soon.